We're going to talk draft grades in just a moment, but first things first, if you hate the Pittsburgh Steelers and you are looking for a Cleveland Browns YouTube channel with daily videos that has live and interactive content that we do here, and you bleed brown and orange, then this is the Browns YouTube channel for you. Hit that sub button down below to start today's show. The blue check marks of sports media have put out their NFL draft grades, so I wanted to see how they graded Andrew Berry's brand new draft class. So welcome in to the Cleveland Browns Report by Chat Sports. Matthew Peterson here, combing through Mel Kiper's draft grades and Dane Brugler from the Athletics draft rankings. Now, let's revisit the selections that the Browns made in Kansas City this past weekend. They started things off with Cedric Tillman, wide receiver from Tennessee. Then they went defensive line out of Baylor, Siaki Ika. And afterwards, Dawand Jones out of the Ohio State. Isaiah McGuire followed up with a pick from Mizzou, and so forth. We have UCLA's Tompson-Robinson, Cam Mitchell, your new slot corner from Northwestern, and a center to round it out, Luke Wypler from Ohio State. So a couple Buckeyes making the trip from Columbus up to Cleveland. So with that being said, let's now look at Mel Kiper's draft grades. He gave the Browns a B+, which for a team that did not pick until 74, that's pretty good if you ask me. This was also the highest grade he gave out to a team that did not have a first-round pick. They also did not have a second-round pick. So for the Browns to come out of the draft with a B+ in Mel Kiper's eyes and not pick in rounds 1 or 2, talking about making the most of what you had. So I'm pretty impressed for the Browns to come away with this high of a grade. Now, Kiper was pretty liberal in his grading. He never went below, I think, a B-. He was not harsh for anyone. Now, as for the teams that did not have a first-round selection, here are their draft grades. Like we just said, the Browns came away with a B+. The Dolphins had a B. They also had a second rounder, along with the Rams. Denver and San Francisco also did not have a first or second round pick, but in Kiper's eyes, they did not fare as well, getting a B and B-. Now, Kiper added this onto his B+ grade, saying, some teams had a higher grade on wideout Cedric Tillman than his Tennessee teammate Jalin Hyatt, who went a pick before him. Siaki Ika, 98, is a 335-pound run plugger of a defensive tackle. He isn't going to get many sacks, but he'll eat up blockers. Dawand Jones is a mountain of a man who could develop into a starting right tackle. Isaiah McGuire can be a rotational pass rusher as a rookie. And then quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson is a solid dual-threat developmental quarterback. Luke Wypler actually is my third-ranked center. I thought he might go 2 rounds before Cleveland got him. Again, for what Berry had in this draft, he did a great job. He never reached, and he used his selections on premium positions. So with that being said, before we start really breaking down these picks and getting to know these new members even better, who was your favorite pick that the Browns made? Was it Ika on the defensive line to hopefully stop the horrible run game or run defense the Browns had last year? Or is it the wideout from Knoxville, Cedric Tillman? Drop a name down in the comments section below. For me, I come with a little bit of bias because as a Tennessee alum, I loved the Cedric Tillman pick. I watched him play the last 2 years as a dominant starter in this offense when healthy, of course. Now, he is going to be a very good football player. I want to get that across. I know wide receiver might not feel like a big need, but we also had the same feeling last year when they went with Martin Emerson, a corner, after having Greg Newsome and Greedy Williams and Denzel Ward be big picks for this team the last couple of seasons. So Cedric Tillman right now might not feel like he's filling a huge void in this roster, but Amari Cooper might not be here for long. Donovan Peoples-Jones is going to be a free agent after this season. This is yet again another Andrew Berry pick for the future, and he might even have a big role in this offense in 2023. Now, last year he was banged up. He dealt with an ankle injury for the middle stretch of the season. But he was a first-round type buzz going into 2022 because of what he did in 2021. The former 3-star recruit had 1,000+ yards, 12 touchdowns, and a Tennessee offense that was just getting going in 2021 and was not the college football playoff contending offense they were in 2022. Now, we're going to look at some other draft picks and some notes in just a brief moment. But hey, we've got a great t-shirt combo deal going on right now, thanks to our friend at Fanatics. Spring is finally here, starting to warm up a little bit in Cleveland. So if you're catching a Guardians game and it's still a bit nippy out there, you can rock the long sleeve t-shirt. Or once summer really does roll around, you can wear the short sleeve tee. They're both on sale. So 2 shirts more or less for the price of 1 when you go to chatsports.com/CLE combo. I put that link in the comments and the description for you guys. So click on that exclusive link to get this great deal. Moving on from Mel Kiper, we look at Dane Brugler from the Athletics draft rankings. Now, he does not do grades. He's a bit more of a ballsy guy. He goes 1 through 32, and he ranked Cleveland 10th. Again, a team that did not have a first or second round draft pick, in Brugler's eyes, had a top 10 draft class in 2023. So, with the Browns picking 5 players in Brugler's top 100, that is going to warrant a pretty favorable ranking. So, give a round of applause. I mean, I know we have not seen these guys play a snap of football, so all these grades and rankings are always a bit outlandish. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen some previous ones from past years circulate. Patrick Mahomes got a C-. That Russell Wilson draft class for Seattle got an F. Worked out pretty well for those teams, so I'm not going to get too drunk on good draft rankings or get too upset from bad ones, because ultimately we will not know how this draft class really fared for another 2 or 3 seasons. But Brugler did give out some awards, and his favorite pick for Cleveland was Cedric Tillman. Likewise with me, the wide receiver who they went with at pick 74. Now we're going to look at his day 3 sleeper pick in a little bit, but let's see what he said about Cedric Tillman. Brugler said, after his breakthrough 2021 season, Tillman entered last season as a borderline first-round pick. He missed half the season with an ankle injury, though, which put a discount sticker on his draft tag and gave Cleveland a steal. Tillman was one of the few true X receivers in this class and will make an impact as a rookie. Now, when we look at Cleveland's wide receiver room, I'm not going to give any third-round pick an absolute starting role before they even step foot in Berea, but he is going to be a top 4 receiver in my opinion, right? You've got Cooper and DPJ as your top 2 guys. Elijah Moore will be right there in the slot as well. He might even overtake DPJ depending on what type of plays Kevin Stefanski wants to run. Marquise Goodwin's going to help stretch the field. But don't be shocked if week 2 into week 3, you see Tillman kind of graduate from a special teamer and just a couple of plays here and there in the second half to maybe getting just as many snaps as DPJ or Elijah Moore. I think he has that type of ceiling his rookie season. Moving on to the other award that Brugler gave out, his day 3 sleeper pick, and pick that should be getting more love maybe. He went Isaiah McGuire, the defensive end from Mizzou, and his reasoning is going to pump you up because Isaiah McGuire was not an edge rusher that maybe I had a huge grade for, a big grade going into this class, but I'm definitely warming up to what Jim Schwartz can do with the former Missouri Tiger. Brugler's had this to say. But defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz loves to collect pass rushers that he can rotate, and McGuire has the speed to power skills to make plays as a rookie. Browns fans will enjoy this. McGuire was the pass rusher who gave new Steelers left tackle Broderick Jones the most trouble on the 2022 tape. A longtime player in Columbia, he amassed over 100 tackles, 30-plus tackles for loss, and 16 and a half sacks, along with 3 forced fumbles. He's got a great frame. He just needs to add more to his arsenal, right? As I said back on the draft day, it's like you got a great driver, but you got to get your irons and you got to get your short game in there. That's what Jim Schwartz is going to do. He's going to help add more to McGuire's game, so he's not so much a one-trick pony. Now, the defensive line for Cleveland right now has a pretty good rotation opposite of Myles Garrett, which they were really missing last year, right? When Clowney went down, Alex Wright and Winovich and Thomas were not really up to the challenge to be a true defensive end too. Now you've got Obo, you've got McGuire, you've got Wright entering his second season. You're going to have a much better pass rushing effort opposite Myles Garrett, and it's going to be a great rotation to keep guys fresh, to keep guys light, and to keep coming at opposite tackles. So here's a question I've got for everyone watching. It's a bit fun, I think. Who do you think the sack leader will be for Cleveland after Myles Garrett? He's going to lead this team in sacks. No questions about it. But who's going to be number 2? Because last year was Taven Bryant at a pathetic 3.5 sacks. So might we finally see someone go right there, foot for foot with Myles Garrett, step for step? If Garrett gets 13, 14, 15 sacks or whatever, could we have a double-digit sack guy on the team as well besides number 95? That's going to do it for us on today's show. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's video, feel free to go follow me on Twitter at Matthew Petey. I'm always talking Brownies, talking NFL over there. So hit me up over on Elon's new app to screw up for web browsers because it logged me out like 3 times yesterday.